Well, the march still making its way from Hyde Park here to Westminster, but it is nearing the end. 40,000 people have taken part today, making this one of the biggest ever climate marches in the world. Now, a lot of the people here were supposed to be marching in Paris, but of course that march was called off for security reasons, so they've come to march in London today. I'm joined now by the actress Emma Thompson, who was also part of the march. And you said before this march that you wanted to make serious noise. Do you think that you achieved that today?
I think so. I think it's a much bigger march than even we expected. It's absolutely massive. It's been going on for ages. I think it's much more than 40,000. I think it's much more like 100,000. I've been on a few marches, particularly recently. So I think that people really have come out, especially in solidarity with Paris, of course, but also in all places in the world where climate change has brought about conflict. So it's great. It's absolutely great that there are so many people who really understand what's happening. I really hope that it will have the effect of this summit making it more effective than the ones we've had before, because of course the reason we're in such difficulties and dire straits now is because all of the protocols that were agreed on in Kyoto, for instance, have not been acted on. In fact, we have been producing 30% more fossil fuel emissions since those decisions were made. So this summit has to be different, and whilst lots of people say, well, glass half empty, what's really going to happen? We're not going to get everything that we need to make our planet safe, but it's a start. And one of the great things about it is that all countries on the planet are represented. That's 196 countries, all there, because a lot of the leaders have come as a result of being pushed from the ground up by this groundswell of people.
So you are hopeful that world leaders can come to some kind of agreement?
Well, come to an agreement that they then actually put into practice. That's what we want. There's a 5-year review after the summit, and during that time I think a lot of things will change, because what happened before, I think, after those big summits was people thought, okay, it's being sorted. It was decided upon and they will go on and do those things. But now people are wise to the fact that actually they didn't do it. And that's why we're looking at a degree of change in the climate that is already extremely dangerous. And that's why we're looking at also making changes that are much more extreme than we would have had to make had we agreed upon and actually acted upon the agreements that we made 10, 20 years ago. So it's now got to the stage where there will be eyes upon those politicians and their governments after the event.
And just lastly from me, you spent quite a lot of time campaigning about drilling in the Arctic. How much does this protest mean to you?
It means everything to me, really. I'm a human being on a planet that I'm desperately worried about. My daughter's in there somewhere and she might have children of her own, and they're the ones who are going to be in receipt of a planet that's not habitable anymore. And if we think that we have problems with refugees and the mass migrations of peoples at the moment, it's going to look like an away day to Aylesbury in comparison with what's coming.
Emma Thompson, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for covering it.
Well, Emma Thompson, just one of the 40,000 people here marching. We've reached the end of the march now here in Westminster. As you can see, we've been passed by polar bears and herds of elephants. But there is, of course, a very serious message behind this march. People wanting those world leaders at the summit in Paris to come up with a real solution for climate change. They're also very keen to stress that this march is very much about showing solidarity with the people of France.